Mayor John Tory is asking the Prime Minister to take some big steps when it comes to gun control, and he's making it personal. In a letter to the PM, he writes, "I write you today as the mayor, but also as a father and grandfather who has met with families who have lost their loved ones to gun violence. I believe it is my job to comfort them and express our city's collective sorrow for their loss." He goes on to write, "But I also believe it is my job to seek action. It is my job to make sure we don't just talk about banning handguns and strengthening our laws, but we actually ban handguns and we actually strengthen those laws."
Well, I've written to the Prime Minister really confirming what I told him in person. I asked him to ask the same question I'm asking myself all the time, and I'm asking the people of Toronto. Why does anyone in Toronto need a handgun?
Personally, I'm a target shooter. I'm a sports shooter. I like shooting paper and steel.
Torontonian Nicholas Johnson runs the gunblog.ca, a site that he says is a source of information and commentary on Canadian firearms.
Duck hunters, Olympic athletes, target shooters, trappers, all sorts of people. He's indirectly suggesting that somehow we have something to do with what's happening in Toronto, and that's completely false. It's pretty defamatory, actually.
Tory says he's not targeting legal gun owners, but sometimes legal guns end up in the wrong hands.
The Prime Minister and his government have agreed to take a look at that idea of having a handgun ban in Toronto.
Instead of looking at the objects that are used by the killers, let's look at the killers. The bigger question is, why do we have people in our communities who want to hurt us?
And the city is asking the province and the feds for money to help with what they believe is the root of the cause when it comes to gun violence. John Tory says we need to invest more in families and youth to steer them away from guns and gangs.